So you may remember that there are two different times when Jesus multiplies loaves that we have record of in the Gospels. In both Matthew and Mark, we have the 5,000 and then we have the 4,000. This was the time of the 4,000, where instead of the 12 loaves and the 12 baskets picking up afterwards, this is the 7 loaves and the 4,000 people in the crowd. So this happens in chapter 15. Chapter 14 was the multiplication of the loaves, the 12 loaves. And still they say, where can we get enough food for all this? Just like, really? You don't get it? You just saw it not that long ago. But we look and we say, this line, they all ate and were satisfied. How often does that describe us? When we have a multiplication of food, right here in America, we have pretty much all the food we need or want. More than that. We might feel glutted at the end of it, but do we feel satisfied? Do we feel satisfied? No, because of course, the food of this world never fills that emptiness that we have. We hear in the first reading, on this mountain the Lord of hosts will provide for all peoples a feast of rich food and choice wines, juicy rich food and pure choice wines. On this mountain he will destroy the veil that veils all peoples, the web that is over all nations. He will destroy death forever. And this veil, some of the commentators think that this veil is actually a shroud. So it's in reference to he will remove death. And of course then it talks about him destroying death forever. And he'll wipe away the tears from all faces. That he provides this meal of choice food, a rich food and choice wine. What's that remind us of? The Eucharist, of course. And of course the multiplication of the loaves are using the same words that are used at the institution narrative as a foreshadowing of the Eucharist, that Jesus is the one who brings us the choice food and wine, his very body and blood, soul and divinity. And he's the one that then brings the healing to the nations. The lame, the blind, the deformed, the mute, and many others. As he does all this, he's showing the people, do you see, I'm the one who's the fulfillment of the prophet Isaiah. But even though we have this prefiguring in the gospel today, this takes place by the Sea of Galilee. That's in the northern part of Israel. But Isaiah says, on this mountain, what mountain is he talking about? Mount Zion, Jerusalem. And there, that's where Jesus, at the Last Supper and at the crucifixion, gives us that food and that wine, his body and blood, soul and divinity, poured out so that we can have life, so that he can remove that shroud that veils us, giving us that promise of eternal life. So the Lord invites us. He invites us to come before him as we come to receive the Eucharist today. He's inviting us to come with faith. He's inviting us to come with faith that we may see, here is the place that will satisfy. This is the bread that will satisfy. His very flesh and blood. And to look and say, what are those areas of my life that are broken? Lame, blind, deformed, mute. But more importantly, those places in my heart that are broken. Those areas where I have struggled with addictions, with the habits of sin. What are those areas of my life that I'm just so broken I don't even think I can bring it to God? He says, bring it to me. Lay them at my feet. Come and open your heart to receive my healing. Because this Eucharist that we receive is that same Jesus who was on that mountain 2,000 years ago, healing all those people. And he wants to heal us. He wants to transform us. So let us place ourselves at his feet as we receive him today. Allow him to come, to enter in, and to bring the healing we need.